This is Tim Bryce with my column titled Pavlovian Politics. We have all seen people on both sides of the political aisle use catchphrases routinely in response to political topics, but it seems that Democrats have honed this skill to razor sharpness. For example, in her recent 60 Minutes interview, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was asked by Anderson Cooper if she thought President Trump was a racist, to which her reflexive response was,
Yeah, no question.
How can you say that?
When you look at the words that he uses, which are historic dog whistles of white supremacy, when you look at how he reacted to the Charlottesville incident where neo-Nazis murdered a woman versus how he manufactures crises like immigrants seeking legal refuge on our borders, it's night and day.
Her response seemed almost robotic. I found her use of words like dog whistles, white supremacy, and manufacturer's crisis illuminating, as if she had been programmed to use such expressions on command, kind of like Pavlov's dog. Say a certain word or ask a question, and the person begins to salivate automatically. Frankly, it's kind of scary. The expression dog whistles is particularly interesting, as it is now commonly used by the left to denote how they believe conservatives respond. Now, I will admit I have seen Republicans use catchphrases such as lock her up and CNN sucks, but I have found conservatives more inclined to engage in honest debate as opposed to Democrats trained in Pavlovian responses. Do you want to stop a left-wing Democrat in his or her tracks? Just tell them you have voted for a Democrat in the past as you thought the person was the right candidate for the job, and then ask if they ever voted for a Republican. A wild-eyed expression comes over their face, and they are at a loss for words. I had a Democrat friend who recently told me point blank, I will never go to any meeting where a Republican is speaking. So much for open-mindedness. I also guess I will not see him in any of my audiences anytime soon. What I am finding with Democrats is there is less courteous debate and more conditioning in terms of talking points. Whenever I get in an argument with them, I feel I am dealing directly with MSNBC's Rachel Maddow or CNN's Don Lemon at all. Interestingly, if you ask them to explain their rehearsed talking points, they are at a loss. This speaks volumes about the power of the mainstream media. Further, they tend to turn up the volume as if you cannot hear them. I found both young and older Democrats becoming excessively passionate and less inclined to hear opposing views, thereby emboldening them to attack their opponents. Now there is a movement in the media to label Republicans as racist, hate-filled liars. This is all being done as a prelude to the 2020 elections to condition their constituents to believe Republicans are evil and must be eliminated. Through the use of identity politics, the media is creating stereotypes intended for character assassination. I don't think Hitler could have done it any better. As to racism, let us never forget not one Republican ever owned a slave. In fact, the Republican Party was created to abolish slavery. Anyone remember a guy named Lincoln? The left conveniently overlooks the fact that the Ku Klux Klan and Jim Crow laws were all Democrat inventions and somehow try to blame the Republicans for their creation. Nothing could be further from the truth. Nonetheless, by training people to repetitively chant, racist, 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 they are hoping people will develop a reflexive action against the Republicans. By religiously parroting the talking points of the left, the Democrats have become a party of lemmings controlled by the news media, who has plotted them on a course to tear their opponents apart. More likely, though, they will end up in the abyss. Friends, keep the faith. This is Tim Bryce in Palm Harbor, Florida. Follow me on the internet at timbryce.com.